Good evening from wherever you're watching as from. This is a Look Up News coming to you live from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. And it's a very cold and rainy evening in different parts. And of course, a very dark evening for a lot of counties across Kenya following a power outage. And the Kenya Power and Lightning Company saying that it is working around the clock to ensure that power is restored. But if you're watching us, if you're able to join us across all our social media platforms at Look Up TV on Twitter, Look Up TV on Facebook, and Look Up TV on our YouTube channel. Welcome to the broadcast. Before we get into the business, here are the highlights. Tonight on Look Up News, Parliament starts process to kick out the 4 IEBC commissioners who dissented in the last election.
No one should lie to this regime that we will sit back and watch a return of the Nyayo regime by another name.
Raila Karua Kalonzo show up in Parliament in solidarity with the IEBC commissioners. And 100 Rift Valley schools on government's radar for possible exams cheating. Welcome to Look Up News. I am Nelima, and our sign language interpreter for tonight is Josephine Oko. And welcome to the broadcast. Do stay with us as we bring you up to speed with stories that are making headlines today. And we begin. Azimio leader Raila Odinga has defended the 4 IEBC commissioners after attending the hearing of the petition to oust them before the Parliamentary Committee on Justice and Legal Committee. Odinga has criticized the government for what he has called a capture of institutions. John Mokora now reports.
The 4 IEBC commissioners, including Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera, Commissioners Irene Masit, Francis Madenge and Justice Nyagaya, before the Justice and Legal Committee JLAC over the 4 petitions filed to oust them out of office. The Azimio leadership has condemned the case, saying these 4 fought for the country's integrity and are the ones being punished.
What we witnessed today at JLAC is a microcosm of what the UDA regime is doing and is prepared to do in this country, which is to cannibalize and to destroy the institutions of democracy so that it can husband all power in this country.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga has advised the 4 commissioners to boycott the JLAC hearings, saying the process is unconstitutional and against their rights. Odinga has said the hearing is not just since the case against the other 3 commissioners, including the chairperson Wafula Chebukati and commissioners Boya Molu and Abdi Gulie, has never been listened to till now. Further, Odinga has warned the Kenya Kwanza government against a dictatorial regime like in the 80s and 90s, saying the opposition will not sit and watch as that happens.
The capture is now being extended to our 2 houses of parliament. Swiftly, Kenyans are being turned into passive bystanders in their affairs with grave implications for our unity, our stability, and governance as a nation. The root administration is taking us back to the state of affairs last witnessed in the Nyayo regime of the 1980s.
On her side, now Kenya leader Martha Karua has said the petitions against the 4 commissioners are intended to prevent them from taking over the commission, especially Juliana Cherera, since Chebukati tenure is coming to an end in January.
Chebukati, Gulie and Molu should already be on leave, on terminal leave. It should have started on the 1st of November. They insist on illegally presiding over a by-election in order to give us convoluted results, like they gave us convoluted results of the general election.
While Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has accused the Kenya Kwanza government of planning to capture IEBC in preparation of the 2027 general elections.
I don't like things that are politically motivated. And therefore impeachments, Kenyans remember, politically motivated impeachment in the Senate, and this is what is being worked out. I want to urge the committee of JLAC to stand as a different committee, believing in the rule of law, fair justice, administrative justice.
Edwin John Mokora, Look Up TV.
And on a sad note, 3 people have been confirmed dead in Soweto, Kayole, following a reported outbreak of cholera in the area. Locals attribute the outbreak to water contamination and now want the government to take radical measures to repair sewer lines, as this is posing a major health risk to the city residents.
Kayole, watu 3 washakufa kutoka hiyo hospitali ya kwetu hapa juu. Kiini cha hii mambo yote ya korela, hii mambo ya kukimbiza watu hoteli haifai hata. Kiini kikuu ni hii sewage. Hii sewage imelipuka hapa muda mrefu sana. Na hapa watoto wako wanacheza, watoto wa shule wanacheza hapa. Na hata vipanda vya mboka viko hapa.
Mimi saizi nalaumu serikali sababu tuko na maji ilikuja huku Soweto fresh. Kwenda kuchotewa hiyo maji ilikuwa inanuka sewage. Kumaanisha hiyo maji nani sewage zimeblock. Sina nani simechanganyikana pipe ya maji safi imechanganyikana pipe ya maji ya choo. Haya, angalieni mitaro ndio hizi simefuda ni simejaa. Hakuna mwenye anatufungulia. Kanjo wanasanya takataka kila wakati. Mitaro zimejaa. Mvua ikinyesha, hizo masiweji ndio hiyo. Sasa serikali ndio inatakana itengeneze mazingira kwanza ikuwe safi, maji wa treat maji. Kweli corona mimi nani cholera, kweli nasikia cholera iko. Lakini sasa kama cholera iko na bado watu wenyewe hawasaidii. Maseptic zinalipuka. Hawasaidii watu, watafanya aje?
Sisi tulikuwa tunaomba serikali tuangalie maslahi yetu. Juu watu wanaumia. Watoto wanaumia. Karo zimepanda. Kila kitu imepanda. Hii mambo ya kanjo kufunga mahoteli hii ni kasi ya ukusi. Juu mimi naweza toka asubuhi ninunue hata kama mandazi 2 nikunywe na maji. Saa hii wamekuwa wanakimbisana na watu wa hoteli hizi ndogo ndogo. Afadhali waangalie environment vile inakuwa, wanafurugana na watu biashara ndogo ndogo. Sasa hii ni maisha gani yenye tunakaa?
And on exam preparedness, over 100 schools in the 14 counties within Rift Valley have been put on red alert over possible examination cheating as learners prepare to sit for their national examinations. Speaking during the Regional Security and Intelligence Committee meeting, Rift Valley Regional Coordinator Malim Mohammed said that they are prepared to deal with the exams rigging. Shadra Kariri now reports.
As the national examination days draws near, about 100 schools from the Rift Valley region have been put on the red alert over the rigging claims.
Tunataka kusema ya kuwa kuna wale wachache wamejaribu, lakini kwa wakati huu tumesema hiyo mchezo haitaweza kufanyika. Na kama kuna yule anapanga mambo kama hiyo, tunataka kupatia onyo kali, usidhubutu kamwe kwa sababu haitakubalika.
Speaking during the Regional Security and Intelligence Committee meeting, the Rift Valley Region Coordinator Malim Mohammed stated that they are ready to maintain security in the region.
Sitatumika mahali labda kuna tatizo, labda gari haiwezi kaingia, kuna pikipiki ya chief itaweza kusaidia. Na tunajua wakati huu msimu wa mvua pia kuna zile seasonal rivers ama streams ambaye hazipitiki, kama tumeshuhudia sehemu za Samburu wakati uliopita kwa sababu hizo malaga. Pia tutahakikisha kuna ndege ambayo itashughulika kupeana huduma ya dharura kwa mambo kama hiyo.
Malim stated that it's only 2 schools from Baringo County which will have to do the examination in other schools due to insecurity concerns.
Kuna shule inaitwa Arabal ambaye iko na candidates 18 wa KCPE na pia wako na watoto 14 wale tunasema grade 6. Na pia kuna shule ile inaitwa Kapindasum wako na candidates 36 wa KCPE. Hawa wataenda kufanya mitihani yao shule inayojulikana kama Chimorongion Primary School.
The regional coordinator, however, warned students and schools who may have been planned to cheat in exams, stating that they will be dealt with appropriately.
Hata kuna zile mashule hatutaki kwa condemn mapema, but we are aware. Wale tunasema notorious, we are aware, na tutahakisha ya kuwa tumeweka mikakati. Yule yote anapanga jambo kama hiyo amejulikana mapema bila yeye kuleta madhara kama hiyo.
Shadra Kareria, Look Up TV.
Asanteni sana. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Kareria, for those details. Moving on, former Turkana County AIC Church Archbishop Silas Yego has urged Kenyans to volunteer more in order to provide food for aid to the residents of the county, following the hunger situation that still continues to be unbearable in the county.
Hapa kuna njaa, watazamaji, kuna njaa sehemu hii ambaye labda wale wengine ambaye tunakaa katika nchi kama Trans Nzoia na sehemu zingine hatuwezi kuelewa. Ni njaa kweli. Unaona umati ya watu hapa, wamekuja watu zaidi ya 500 na kila mtu anakuja na mfuko, anataka chakula. Tumejaribu tuwezavyo kupatia kila mtu chakula kidogo kidogo, marakwe pamoja na shifted maize.
Ikiwa ni neema yake Mwenyezi Mungu tupate mvua ni sawa, lakini bila ninaona hali ya ukame itaendelea. Kwa hivyo hii hali ya njaa bado itaendelea.
Sisi tunaangalia Mungu na watu wa makampuni na makanisa na serikali kwenyewe. Sisi tunajua kwamba serikali iko atatusaidia, na tunashukuru kwa sababu serikali iko karibu na sisi. Tunashukuru kwa ile msaada ametusaidia.
Moving on, former Naivasha Member of Parliament John Mutudho has called on the government to consider investing in research on GMO seeds before allowing them to be imported into the country. Speaking in Nakuru, John has said that the government needs to buy maize from farmers in Rift Valley and Western counties, aiming to reducing food prices. Lisa Minor has more report.
Progressive former Nakada boss John Mutudho now says he chaired the Agriculture Committee in the 10th Parliament when he called on to the rejection of importation of GMO seeds into the country.
Brigade that fought GMO during the 10th Parliament, and that is what the retired cabinet was trying to undo within minutes. I want to first of all advise my friend William Ruto on acts of war. You do not arm a surrender. That's a rule in the rules of power. Those people are living, and you don't arm them. They armed you with poison.
He now calls on the government to stop the scheme that a few businessmen are selling the GMO seeds at the expense of the citizens.
Nothing like feeding people with GMO. Only people who want to make money, people who want to make to kill others, will do that. 5 years, 10 years down the line, you are going to have very, very weird kind of things. Cancer is just one of them.
The tough-talking Mutudho now wants the president to work with the trusted people downplaying the National Irrigation Board, NIB, saying that action should be taken against NIB after they embezzled public funds.
Samuel Ruto, you are PhD. You are more educated than most of us. But keep out of this conversation and sack those fools whom you have assigned duties to come and deal with GMO. Keep all those con men out. Keep that NIB away completely from that scene. Take to jail all those people who did bush clearing for 3.5 billion. There were 50 companies which were done very quickly by NIB and others to go and do bush clearing, and they took, before even the project could start, they stole over 3.5 billion. In a project of 7 billion, you come and steal 3.5 on bush clearing, and you also do it poorly. How can it succeed?
Lisa Minor, Look Up News.
The GMO divide, of course, is a story that we are following up for you, and we'll be bringing you more details. The Ministry of Environment and Forestry is now calling on the country to prioritize and promote waste management to reduce harmful emissions at a time when the country has adopted the Waste Management Policy Act in a bid to battle climate change, which is now a global issue.
To keep the 1.5-degree goal as embedded in the IPCC report alive will be either won or lost in this decade. With only 7 years left to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the UN Decade for Ecosystem Restoration, and we also have to reduce global emissions by 43% before 2030. We have to do all this in 7 years. And to achieve this, we have to align our policies and actions with the latest science to prevent this catastrophe that is coming ahead of us. To further promote comprehensive waste management practices, mainstream circular economy principle in all sectors, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, The government of Kenya, through the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, has adopted the first Sustainable Waste Management Policy and Act. The new policy and act has progressive provisions for waste management and institutional framework for both counties and national government.
This is Look Up News. We do have to take a very fast break here on the program. But remember, do let us know where you're watching us from at Look Up TV on Twitter, Look Up TV on Facebook, and Look Up TV on our YouTube channel. Giving your comments and your feedback that I'll be sampling at the tail end of this bulletin. Don't go too far.
Imagine starting your academic journey here at the foot of Mount Kenya, a place where you can call home, a place where we celebrate our diversity and uniqueness, a place where you can be at your best, at work and at play. That place is Embu College. There's no better place to make the difference than Embu College. Karibu Embu College, where a holistic education matters.
So mimi nilikuwa mmoja wa timu kubwa ya Hasla na gojea mazao yake.
Na bila shaka mpenzi mtazamaji, ni awamu nyingine tena ya bunge la mwenyeji ambapo tunasikia tu maoni ya wenyeji hasa wananchi wa kawaida. Je, maoni ni yapi?
Anakwambia wananchi ndio kila kitu. Unaona dips na system ni wananchi. Unaona vile wamenyorosha watu bwana.
Tumeng'oa nanga kwenye bunge la mwenyeji.
So ile kitu nasema tunamuomba asituachilie.
Welcome, you're watching The CEO. On this show, where we invite masters, captains of industry.
It's all about working in teams. Customers are happy, it's a good month, the markets are good. I mean, those are very exciting moments.
Ladies and gentlemen who tell us where and how to find money and put money in our pockets and how to go about doing business in the best possible way.
For me, I'm not serving myself, I'm serving community.
Hiso Properties Limited. Bado tunakutangazia Lanet Oasis Nakuru City. Ploti hizi ni za 50 by 100 na ni mita 500 tu kutoka kwenye barabara ya lami. Lanet Oasis kuna maji na stima, barabara za maram na ni karibu na shule ya Anesta Boys. Eneo hili lina usalama wa hali ya juu. Ploti ya 50 by 100 tunakuuzia shilingi milioni 1.6 na hii ndio fursa ya mwisho na bei hii. Tutembelee ofisi zetu hapa jijini Nakuru Tower 1 Building, orofa ya 3 au wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari 0758 707 050 au tuma neno Lanet kwa nambari 21404. Hiso Properties Limited, a culture of trusts.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with Look Up TV. The hashtag is Look Up News. Nancy Nelima here and Josephine Oko on the sign language interpretation. Now it's time to talk business. Standard Chartered Bank has recorded a 38% increase in tax before profit to record a profit of 12.2 billion shillings in the third quarter of 2022, ending 30th September, compared to 8.8 billion shillings profits before tax recorded in the same period last year. John Mokora now reports.
Chartered Group profits increased to 8.7 billion shillings for the period under review. This marking a 37% increase compared to profit after tax of 6.3 billion shillings recorded in 2021. While releasing the results, Standard Chartered CEO Kariuki Ngari has said that the healthy business momentum continues to drive growth for the lender, with revenue jumping by 10% from 22.27 billion shillings recorded in 2021 to 24.56 billion shillings recorded this year. The group recorded a 7% jump in net interest income, 15.78 billion shillings, from 14.712 billion shillings recorded last year, and a non-funded income that increased to 16% from 7.56 billion shillings in 2021 to 8.7 billion shillings. Due to the high inflation as well as increased investments, the lender's operating cost increased to 11.4 billion shillings compared to 10.695 billion shillings recorded last year. The bank's loan book expanded to 136 billion shillings from 125.97 billion shillings in 2021, marking a 9% increase. These attributed to the recovery of their clients' businesses from COVID-19 pandemic disruptions. In the period under review, customers' deposit increased to 286 billion shillings from 265 billion shillings recorded an year earlier. Standard Chartered announced an interim dividend of 6 shillings for every ordinary share of 5 shillings. Edwin John Mokora, Look Up Business.
Thank you, Mokora. And away from business, in this week's episode of Bonaman, we highlight a story of lost glory due to alcohol abuse. Lawrence Nyaga, a 44-year-old family man, lost himself to alcoholism, missing out on the upbringing of his 3 children. He regrets his reckless decisions and is working towards compensating the times he has been an absentee father. Cecilia Lubanga brings us more on this week's episode.
In the family, I have uncles and relatives who are alcoholics. I used to admire how they feel. When they got high, maybe they have some stuff in the house, I used to be chased away. Now I was like kind of one time when I grow up, you guys, you know who I am, because I'll have to feel like you and I will show off to you that I am the man.
Where and how we are brought up plays a major role in who we turn out to be today. 44 years on earth, with 22 of those years lost to alcoholism. Lawrence Nyaga has made a lot of bad decisions, including missing out on the upbringing of his children. It is a story of grace to grass. This is Bonaman.
44 years of age and a father of 3. He walks for miles and hours just to ensure he makes a sale on his ice pop business in order to fend for his family. In his heydays, Lawrence narrates the transformation and the hard part.
Well, I had a very beautiful job, like in the best of East Africa. I'd been given a region in Meru, where I used to earn quite some good money. And I just quitted the job because alcoholism had taken over. I could not respond, report, and even respond to the clients the way it was supposed to happen. Even my family, actually, family members, brothers and sisters, would describe me as an alcoholic. Even if I had a simple problem that they could fix, they were like, no, him is not the kind of person that we are to help at the moment, because he's just an alcoholic. Even if it's something to do with 100 shillings or 200 or 500, I could not get it because they thought it would all go for alcohol.
It is a disease that innocently kicked off at the age of 15 years. He will sneak out of school alongside a group of friends to go imbibe. Little did he know it will be something that he will struggle with for 22 long years.
We were drinking hiding. You were doing the hide and seek kind of a thing. Yeah, and that's how I gradually started becoming an alcoholic. Little did I know that it was spoiling me, it was destroying me.
His alcoholism has become a demon devouring him from the inside, keeping him thirsty for more each time. It rendered him incompetent at work, making him lose his sources of income. In search of greener pastures, he landed a tourism job in Dubai that did not last either.
There we had money, enough money that we would spend on alcohol, spend on drinking. And eventually at the end of it all, I got laid off. And after being laid off, it was just a struggle of just finding how to, for accommodation, food, etc., etc. So life wasn't easy.
This will see him alongside his fellow Kenyans start an alcohol business, the only thing he knew too well. However, things took a turn for the worst, leading to his deportation back to the country.
The government of Dubai, actually, they were very keen to know what exactly is happening with this kind of a car that is, we normally do see is leave in the morning and come back in the evening when it's loaded. What are these people supplying? So they managed to find out that it's alcohol that we were supplying. So we got arrested. The decision of the judge was to send these people home. Actually, my profile there wasn't very good because we used to fight a lot. with the Nigerian people, with the Nigerian guys, because we felt that they were intimidating us. I came back to Kenya. Still, I never stopped drinking. Doctors had warned me not to drink. They had requested me to follow the medication, use the proper diet, not to drink. Because the time I left Kenyatta National Hospital, my kidneys had a problem. They were failing. I was supposed to be kuwekewa catheters to assist in the cleaning system. So the doctors warned me, if I drink, mimi ni kuzikwa.
That was not enough to keep his itchy hands off the bottle. His wife and children suffered the consequences.
Moving from State House Road to Kahawendani, where they came back to be hosted. Yeah, even if it's a young boy or young girl, psychologically it happens that there's something wrong. They shifted from Maxwell School to a local school, a village school. Then from there they moved from that village school. We went to Meru. Now they went to a day school, a government school, where that was not their lifestyle. That was not the way their life had began. 99% I'm drunk.
Life is totally different from what he pictured when he started off.
When I sit down and look back, there are those areas that I feel I did wrong. And I normally tell God, now God forgive me. I need to make amendments with my family for the places that I did mistakes. And for the most obvious mistakes of drinking, God first, forgive me, my family, forgive me. I reached my turning point from an hospital bed. There's an article, there's a writing that says, it doesn't matter how far you fall, it matters how high you bounce. Now I want to reach that bouncing high with a lot of resilience.
He lost it all. Is it fate or his own undoing? That we don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that alcohol remains a menace that devastates societies at a drastic rate. Lawrence Nyaga now tries to recollect his remaining pieces of his life with the hope that he will at least be able to recover half of what he has lost in life.
If God sends his angels down to me, I know for sure, for a fact, that I'll be a counselor. I want to handle these people who are suffering with alcoholism, because I know men, we are cowards. Because tunaambiwa watu ati kufa kimwanaume. Kufa kimwanaume, that's nonsense. Because you're dying with your problems, nobody will know that you have a problem that's in you. Men should speak up. Yeah. We men, we have a problem, we have a weakness. We go laughing at women at wanaenda chama. Hiyo ni mshene wanaenda kupiga. That mshene helps them, I believe for a fact. Believe me, it helps them, because they go and share with Mama Nani. You share with Mama Nani that unajua jana nilipigwa. Then Mama Nani will ask her, how then are you handling this? Ati hapana, nilienda to so and so's house. Anamwambia hapana, hata mimi juzi niligonga na nilistick to that house. Anasema oh, kumbe yes, nyenyekea, go there and you will put things in position. You'll be able to manage. But men, we are just there to be seen at sisi tumejikaza ni wanaume, but we are dying. Now in alcoholism, so many men that they know for a fact, they know that there's something eating them up.
Globally, the harmful use of alcohol resulted in some 3 million deaths, translating to 5.3% of all deaths worldwide. And Lawrence escaped the list by a whisker. But Winston Churchill will put it, the price of greatness is responsibility. Cecilia Lubanga, Look Up TV.
Time now to get sporty. Sports Cabinet Secretary Babu